I am concerned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very concerned. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day. Sofia Kenin. Look, I don't care if you call her Sonia. I don't care if you call her Sophia. Just don't leave out the big game. But where is her game? It's MIA. She's now dropped to 58th in the rankings after that hard work last year to get back inside right around the top 30. Ranked 4 career high after winning the Australian Open and making it to the French Open Championship where she lost to Iga Swiatek. I told you guys Iga would win that French Open as an unseeded player. You know, before Poland hit the light switch, we were rocking with Iga Swiatek for a long time, and we have been rocking with Iga, okay? We like Iga. But what's up with Sofia Kenin, guys? She is 4-12 on the season. What is going on? And look, I need some positive feedback, negative feedback. It's all fair game because we need to understand what's going on with Sofia. If you've been watching her matches lately, she's been very frustrated. She's been getting upset. And I don't like what I'm seeing. Now, she's got 5 championships. We know about the Australian Open, the Lion Championship. She hasn't won a title since 2020. Okay, she had the opportunity to defeat Barbora Krejcikova. If she could have just held on in San Diego, she couldn't do it. She has been bounced out, one and dones in several tournaments this year. Brisbane, one and done. The Australian Open, one and done. But look, you're taking on Iga. She took Iga to a first set tiebreak, by the way. Abu Dhabi, didn't even make it past the round 1 of qualifiers. Doha, Bouzkova took her out. Dubai, Serrano took her out. The Indian Wells, Victoria took them out. Actually, check the shorts. I'm going to post some clips from that match because Victoria Tomova was just on Sofia Kenin and she wouldn't let up. Okay, Miami, Katie Volynets. I told you guys Katie Volynets would win that match as the underdog. That was an exclusive prediction, free for you. Charleston, Taylor Townsend took her out. Madrid, Ann Carolina Smedlova. Are you crazy, man? I talked about Ann Carolina and how tired she gets for crying out loud. She beat Sofia Kenin. Okay, she did make it to in Spain, 125K. She made it to the second round. I mean, look, she took out an opponent ranked literally like 200. But listen, nonetheless, Ashlyn Kruger took it out. She did make it to the third round here. I'm taking out Lucia Bronzetti. That was a good win. And Ons in the second round. That was a good win. But I told you guys Sramkova should win this match because she's such an experienced clay player. Listen, if you're not familiar with clay, you have to know how to move on clay, which is why Americans, we do have clay courts here in the training facilities. I know the tennis facility I'm a membership of, we have several clay courts. We probably got like maybe 3 clay courts and, hard courts scattered. It's grass that's really tough to transition. And actually, Coco talked about this herself. She said it's going to be very challenging for her to just get used to physically and mentally because normally you switch from clay to grass season. She said she's going to have to get used to switching back from grass to clay, which is something she's never done. So that's going to be interesting. But nonetheless, to be a good clay player, you have to know how to move. Now, Sofia Kenin, she doesn't have a great clay record. So, I mean, it was surprising to see her make that French Open championship in 2020. That was very surprising because she's not a great clay player, And again, with the not the lockout, I was going to say the lockout, but with COVID pushing everything back, the draw was depleted as it is. But she took out some very big names. Ludmilla, she beat in 3 in the first round. Anna Bogdan, she beat in 3 in the second round. Arena Barra, who's like one of the fastest players on tour that I don't talk about enough. I'll probably start doing that. But go check out the last video I did on Barra. She is just super duper fast. I mean, she came through, I forgot, what was that, Colombia, where she was literally like a 3-1 underdog in her first matches, and she won all those matches. Fiona Farrell from France, who played very well. Sofia Kenin beat in 3 sets in the round 16. I told you to take Sofia Kenin to win that match. I also told you to take Kenin to beat Danielle Collins. She beat in the quarterfinal. Remember Danielle Collins broke up with her boyfriend on TV? I think they're married now. Look, she's put him through a lot. He deserves it. Petra Kvitova, I told you Kenin would beat Kvitova. She beat her in the semifinal in straight sets. And Iga beat Kenin in the championship where Iga was unseeded. She came out of nowhere. Not a lot of players do that, okay? And I told you she would beat Sofia Kenin in the championship match. But nonetheless, she's 4-12. She's had a ton of one and dones this year. I don't know what's up. What do you guys think? Now, we talked about recently how Camilla Giorgi held on, with her father as her coach for too long. And I mean, once she got in her upper 20s, I made videos several years ago concerned, because I'm a big Giorgi fan, that she would never win another title again. She won Montreal, she won Mexico, but at one point I had nightmares thinking that Giorgi would never win another title again because I was such a huge fan of hers. I cannot imagine Giorgi winning another title because her game is just so wild and reckless. Now, Sofia Kenin, we're not going to go that far as say her game is reckless, but what is she missing, guys? Now, I just thought she always had the edge. You go back and take a look at like 19, where she won 49 matches, right? I always thought she had the edge mentally, just being mentally tougher than her opponents to fight and fight, much like players like a Camila Osorio or Leylah Fernandez, Buskova, these defensive players, Svitolina, that fight to get balls back and just beat you off of just effort. I don't know if I'm seeing that same effort out of Sofia Kenin. I think she's trying to overpower a lot of players now and win these short rallies when that's never been her game. Her game has always been to get balls back, come across court, hit those backhand winners, but make her opponents make mistakes. And I just feel she's being too aggressive trying to hit winners. That's not her game. What do you guys think? What is she struggling at? Now, this match in particular against Sramkova, who's ranked 120th, but she has a lot more clay experience. And again, clay is a different animal. You have to know how to move on clay. If you don't know how to move on clay, your opponent will use your momentum against you. This is why Iga's so strong. She knows how to move on clay, matched with her amazing footwork, short rally winners. Iga's a problem on clay. We know that, right? Now, Sofia Kenin in this match, she didn't have any double faults, right? She got her first serves in play, 74%, but she lost 40% of the first serve and 57% of the second serve. I mean, I don't know what to pinpoint. I just think that she's playing too aggressive, making too many mistakes. She's got to be a little bit more patient, and I can tell there's a patience issue because she's losing her temper way too much. Does she need a break from pops? Now, I talked about how the difference in juniors and the professionals is a lot of times power, right? When you're on the junior level, if you have power, you quickly win championships and you quickly make it to the main tour. A lot of juniors that get stuck on the ITF or just ITF in general, a lot of ITF players that are stuck there, they don't have the power to really win matches on the main tour. Right? But they do become good shot makers. Now, I've felt Sofia Kenin, she hasn't had the power, but she's a good shot maker, and just getting balls back, waiting for her opponents to make mistakes is how she's been able to win so far on the main tour. But I've also talked about how when players on the lower level come up to the main tour, they normally have to find a different coach, because your coach that got you that success on the lower level, that normally doesn't transfer to the main tour, where you're dealing with players with better resources, players with more experience, better strength and conditioning habits. Players that are more experienced on the main tour know how to win matches. Normally, you have to find a professional coach that can bring all of those things to your camp and make the adjustments from the lower level. Does Sofia Kenin need to part ways with dad? Comment below, guys, because I'm concerned. She's 4-12 on the season. Was this a winnable match? It was. She just beat Ons. I didn't think she would win the match, but she just beat Ons. It's a winnable match. I don't know, guys. I'm running out of answers. What's up with Sofia's game? Does she just need a break? I don't know.